Do you value your identity and your personal information? Well, two-factor authentication can protect this. So listen carefully because I will go through the benefits of having two-factor authentication. Hello everyone, my name is Jutan Al-Ahmed and today we're going to be discussing the benefits of two-factor authentication and why it's so important. Firstly, let's begin with what is two-factor authentication. So how do you normally log into something, an account, let's just say a social media account, lol. So even YouTube or Google, right? Firstly, you'd put in your username, then you would put in your password. Excellent, now you're in. That's normally just a one-factor authentication. So one factor meaning you've literally just put in a password and a username. Now two-factor, which is additional security, is having two steps to be able to log in. What does that do? That identifies that, okay, this is more likely that that's that individual that's logging into the account. The whole purpose of authentication itself is to prevent unauthorized users logging into a specific account. Now, let's begin with the most secure authentication method, in my opinion. This is a security key. It's a physical device which you would have to plug into a computer. This has a private key which is your own. It's actually fully encrypted. So if somebody did steal this from me, they wouldn't have access to my private key. Anyway, so you would plug this into your computer, and this specific security key lights up. So I'd click it, and then it authenticate, and that'd be after I put in my password. So somebody would need to know my password. This is something that gets leaked all the time, everywhere. But anyways, this is something that you would need to log into the actual account. Now, this, in my opinion, is the strongest method of having two-factor authentication. Another methodology is using authenticators. So a soft authenticator, for example, using Google Authenticator. Google Authenticator is something which gives an OTP. There's soft authenticators and physical. I'll come to physical. But a soft authenticator like Google Authenticator or Microsoft Authenticator or even Authy, you would need to use these, and these would give a one-time password and OTP. You would paste that in after you put in your password. So the second step. Just to clarify, anything that I'm discussing here is discussing the second step. So let's just in our mind forget that, okay, password's already done. We're talking about the second step, the two-factor of the authentication part. Anyway, so I'm bringing this up again. The reason is YubiKey itself, they have an authenticator app like Google Authenticator, but you would need to use this key. So even to have your authenticator codes, you would need your physical security key, which another reason why I'm saying that this I think is excellent. However, if you were to use Google Authenticator, this is something that's stored on the cloud. You can make it so it doesn't store on the cloud, it'll just be stored internally. That's obviously your choice, how secure you want to be. Now, hardware authenticators. Another hardware authenticator is, for example, an RSA token authenticator. That gives two-factor authentication. You obviously need to set this up in the back end to synchronize with your account. I don't have an example here, but it's just basically same as Google Authenticator, but it gives a one-time password and it rotates over a time period, like 60 seconds, for example. Now, another method is email. I'm going to put email and SMS together. The reason is these are messages that come to you that a server sends. Now, an email and a SMS. So SMS, I hope you guys know what that is. It's your text messages that come through. Email, obviously your emails to your email address. A code comes. Again, this is a one-time password that comes. And this is something that you paste into whatever login that you're trying to go into. These are authentication methods that you would use to go into an account, and hopefully an account that's owned by you yourself, and to prevent any unauthorized access to your accounts. Now, why do I think that it's so important? I think it all actually boils down to how valuable is that piece of information for you. So, say if I was logging into my bank account, they already, like for example, Barclays, HSBC, they all already have two-factor authentication. What do I mean? There's these specific devices that you have that you put in your card, then you have to put in your PIN, and then you have to get the code. That's many steps to identify that's that specific individual that's logging in, the person that's the owner of the account or has access to that account. Now, as I said, I think it's almost dependent on how valuable that information is to you. If it's your bank account, obviously that's valuable, but if it's something that you don't really care about, say for example, an Instagram account that you're just going on just to check reels and stuff, while, I don't know, you're just trying to waste time or whatever, you just want to get an update of what's happening around the world. This account, would you really give it as much of a value and risk rating as you would a bank account? This is something that you would do in your mind. I don't know if everybody's like a security frenzy, where they have these thoughts of what's more valuable to me and which one do I not care about. I would even go to the extent that some of your passwords and stuff, even if you have that as a non-secure password, having a two-factor authentication of, for example, security key is more valuable. The reason is, after somebody knows your password, they'll need your physical device to log in. So I would always highly recommend having a 2FA, and even many accounts over time now that I've just realized, they're enforcing this on people. You have to have two-factor authentication to be able to log in. Obviously, say if you were logging into a website, I don't know, your local grocery store, let's say Tesco, Sainsbury's or Marks and Spencer's, they wouldn't expect you to have two-factor authentication, even though your payment method's there. It'd just be something if you were to choosing to have it. Because why? As I said, the value of that is so low compared to something else which would have higher value, i.e. a bank account. Question is, what's my recommendation of having two-factor authentication? I personally recommend having a physical security device. Watch my YubiKey review just to understand what this actually is and how it works and how I've set my one up. For example, I don't actually show the setup process, I just explain how I've set my whole way up. But anyways, I highly recommend having a security key, because that's something that's physical, that somebody needs to get access to before they can even log into your accounts. I would, as I said, I'd even say that this is more important than having a stronger password. Obviously, stronger password is, look at it like this: the password is the first door. You know, you guys, some houses have like 2 doors, right? The first door is your password. To be fair, the first step is even your username. These can be leaked and stuff. Obviously, passwords are leaked. There's been so many hacks and stuff which leak these. But your username, if you shouldn't really give that up to anybody. So that's like, normally it's an email address, but there's some accounts that you can specify your own username, not giving that up. Even your bank accounts are specific to your bank. It's not just your email address. It'd be a specific user ID. Not giving that up. Then the second step would be your password, not giving your password up to anybody. And then the third step is having a two-factor authentication to authenticate this is me logging into this user ID. Anywho, I hope this was enough information just to give you a basic understanding of the importance of having two-factor authentication. I always get tongue twisted, don't I? Anyway, this hopefully will give you a basic understanding of two-factor authentication, and to help you all understand why you should be using two-factor authentication. It's very important. But anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, do pop a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, hit that notification bell button if you want to get notified as soon as I upload content. And lastly, let's not forget, together, let's break free from the shackles of modern slavery. I'll see you all next time in my next video. Take care. Bye-bye. Wow, you're still here. You must have enjoyed this video. If you did, pop a thumbs up. Do subscribe to my channel if you're new here. Comment down below if you have anything that you want to say to me, and I'll hopefully respond. Lastly, let's not forget, together, let's break free from the shackles of modern slavery. See you all next time. Take care.